Part 18 of ranking and reviewing every Academy Award winner for Best Picture. We've got the only true Shakespeare adaptation in 1948's Hamlet, directed by and starring Sir Laurence Olivier. We're spoiled here now, living in 2024, when we have had Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet released in 1996, which is one of the best films ever made, and it's absolutely a perfect adaptation of the greatest drama in the history of the English language. So because of that, I might be a bit more harsh on this film than I might otherwise be. Because while this film is very good, it is not a perfect adaptation. A lot of the play is left out because it's not a 4-hour film, of course. And additionally, there's just some odd choices made. You can tell this is kind of early Hollywood, even though, first of all, it's not Hollywood, it's a British film. But it's, they weren't sure what to do with the soliloquies because parts of the soliloquies are delivered in voiceover. It's like they weren't quite sure. They felt they needed to make a change from stage to screen when really we've seen in decades since that you can deliver a soliloquy in film. We can deal with that. We can break the fourth wall, and it's just fine. Olivier's performance as the Danish prince is good, but not incredibly depthful. It's not the, what you picture when you think of like old-timey Shakespeare acting, which is all, with lines delivered in this distinct rhythm, and it all sounds kind of cheesy and self-important. It's a little bit better than that, but there are still stretches of that. I think when it comes to Shakespeare films, Olivier delivers a much more compelling performance in his 1955 adaptation of Richard III, which I think, with the exception of the battle sequences, is a fantastic film and a better movie than this. One thing I absolutely love about Olivier as a filmmaker, though, is that he has such a distinct command of the camera. The camera moves a lot, and some of the shots are really complicated. It's probably of its era, the 1940s, the closest thing I've seen to, like, Orson Welles' work in Citizen Kane. Although, again, I think he may pull this off better in Richard III. Going back to the voiceover and, of course, the black and white cinematography here, this movie kind of feels like a film noir version of Shakespeare. I've heard it described that way. And that sounds really fun. It probably sounds more fun than it actually is if you watch the movie. Because, again, I'm just kind of thinking about how it's not a great adaptation. But I don't think I've seen a bad version of Hamlet. So yes, this is still a very, very good movie. I enjoy it. It's just I don't have much of a reason to go back to it when we have Branagh's 96 version of Hamlet, which is the most perfect adaptation you could possibly make. So here is the updated ranking of the first 18 films to be featured in this series. As you can see, it's ranked fairly high, but there are still plenty of films above it. Next time, we are sticking with the 1940s. Actually, the next two films, we're going to stick with the 1940s. But next time, we've got a first-time watch for me in Going My Way.